Have you ever wondered why food gets spoiled even though it's way before its expiry date? Believe it or not, it's the way you've been storing it. Yes, different foods need different storage methods that keep them from going bad. Let's learn all about that today. 1. Onion and garlic. Onions and garlic love to be in dry, dark places, so do them a favour and keep them away from sunlight. They definitely don't go in the fridge as they may rot due to condensation and cold temperatures. 2. Mushrooms. Firstly, it isn't advisable to store fresh mushrooms for longer than a day. If you must, there are 2 ways to do so. It can either be kept in a paper bag and refrigerated, where it can be stored for 1 more day. Or if you wash and dry the mushrooms and keep them in the deep freezer, they can be stored much longer. 3. Fresh greens and herbs. You may have noticed a lot of people store greens and herbs in containers full of water. But wait, no, that isn't the right way. The correct way to store greens and herbs is to put them in a paper bag and store them in the fridge. Why? Well, the paper bag will absorb the extra moisture, help them breathe, and prevent them from rotting early. 4. Poultry and meat. If you're planning to eat meat, the best way to buy it is right before you're about to cook it. Yes, meat has a lot of bacteria that will make it rot fast, and that's definitely not hygienic. But if you do want to store meat for 1 or 2 days, then cover it in a plastic sheet and keep them in the deep freezer. 5. Bananas. To avoid bananas going bad, all you need to do is slip them into a paper bag or wrap them in a plastic film and place them in a dark and dry place. This way the bananas won't rot and are going to be fresh to eat. 6. Honey. This one is easy and tough to go wrong with. Honey should be stored in a glass, ceramic, or metal jar to prevent it from going bad. Make sure your honey is stored away from sunlight so that it doesn't lose its antibacterial properties. It should also be kept away from other food items that emit fragrances to avoid the honey from absorbing another scent. 7. Milk and yogurt. Milk and yogurt need to be placed at the end of the fridge so that they're at the best temperature and not near the door. Otherwise, the milk may go bad sooner than you think. 8. Bread. Bread can be stored in a plastic bag, a cloth bag, or a paper bag to maintain its softness for up to 5 days. If bread is to be stored for more than 5 days, it can be kept in the fridge at a lower temperature, thus preventing it from going bad. 9. Flour and grains. Flour and grains must be emptied out from the packaging that they are sold in. They should be poured into a ceramic or glass container to keep them away from bugs, and thus maintaining a long life. 10. Eggs. All refrigerators have a special section for eggs at the door. But wait, that's not good for the eggs. The constant exposure to warmer temperatures on opening the fridge will give the eggs a shorter life. What you need to do is place them deep inside the fridge so they aren't experiencing much temperature change and remain healthy.
When you follow your heart, where does it take you? We bet it takes you to your fridge and sometimes to your favourite restaurant in the city, or restaurants. But do you know the exact origin of what you eat? Yeah, food can be funny sometimes. You may think you know where the dish came from or belongs to a particular cuisine, but you'll be surprised to know their origins. Let's talk about some dishes that are not from where we thought they were. French fries. Yes, the one thing we hate sharing isn't really from where we think it is. It's not French. Historians claim this popular dish came about in the late 17th century from Belgium. The people from Belgium liked very small fish in a crispy preparation. When they had no fish, they'd make potatoes in the shape of small, thin fish. And that's how our delicious French fries came to exist. Croissants. Croissants from France are just what you need to begin your day, don't you agree? Except that they aren't from France, but Austria. Yes, it is popularly believed that an Austrian artillery officer opened a bakery in Paris in around 1839 and sold the Viennese kipferl, made from buttery, flaky pastry. The French further adapted this mouth-watering dish into a crescent shape, and we have the croissant. Samosas. The popular samosa is a perfect snack for every Indian. Filled with delicious potato, samosa can actually be found in several countries in different versions. But no, it did not originate from India. What? It is believed that it originated somewhere in the Middle East and travelled all this way, making for a spicy evening snack in India. Apple pie. American as apple pie. This is a very popular saying in the USA that denotes something seen as all-American. But did it actually originate from the US? No. It originated in England, where the first recipe of an apple pie was printed by Geoffrey Chaucer, and that included apples, figs, raisins, pears, and a pastry shell. Yummy. Tikka masala. A visit to India definitely means trying the delicious food in the tikka masala preparation. But the origins of this popular, supposedly Indian dish can be debated. Though Indians believe that it was originally created in Punjab, others claim the dish was actually first made in Glasgow in the early 1970s, where a Bangladeshi chef added sauce to chicken tikka or skewers of chicken pieces. Well, all that doesn't matter now, because in 2001, the then Foreign Secretary Robin Cook declared it was a true British national dish. Spaghetti and meatballs. Raise your hand if the sound of spaghetti and meatballs just made you drool. Well, yes, it does count for one of the most delicious dishes created. But where did it come from? The US? No, it's actually partially Italian. Yes, Italian immigrants made their way to the US and created this classic dish to pamper your taste buds. Fajitas. Don't you wish you could have a fajita every day? Yeah, a delicious, yummylicious Mexican fajita. Except fajitas aren't from Mexico. Feel like your whole life is a lie after knowing this fact? A fajita's roots go back to Texas ranches in the 1930s, making it a true Tex-Mex dish. Wow, these were some facts we didn't expect, did we? Well, as long as they satisfy our taste buds, we don't really mind wherever they originated from.
Have you ever wondered what a tin of tomatoes, chocolate bars, and broccoli have in common? Is it carbs? No. Proteins? Nope. Fats? Hell no. It's bugs. Yes, the very same creepy crawlies you try to keep out of your house. That's right. Now here's what you need to know. Bugs, or at least tiny bug bits, are in most of our foods, and there is absolutely nothing unhealthy or unsafe about it. What? Yes, you heard that right. Vegans and vegetarians, you're probably going to have to reconsider eating veggies, as the harsh fact is that you do consume up to 1 to 2 pounds of cockroaches, flies, maggots, and other creepy crawlies hidden in your food every year. Ugh. Our produce and canned foods are full of little bug bits. Everything from broccoli to spinach to canned tomatoes can contain heads, legs, thoraxes, and even entire insects. At this point, you're probably thinking, how is this even allowed? Is this safe? Well, the FDA has a handbook for levels of natural and unavoidable defects in foods that present no health hazards to humans. Almost everything that we consume has a certain amount of bug parts in it that the FDA has deemed okay for human consumption, including health food, junk food, snacks, and drinks. Yeah, that's right. Let's look at some more shocking facts. Up to 8 bug parts are legally allowed by the FDA in each chocolate bar. Eating 100 pounds of chocolate would mean that you could have consumed up to 1 pound of bugs. So next time you want to gift someone special a box of chocolates, think again. Eating 100 pounds of bread would mean you could have consumed up to 1.5 pounds of bugs. Bugs are even in certain drinks. Did you know up to 5% of the hops in each batch of beer is bugs? So next time you go out to grab a few cold ones, ask the bartender for a bug beer. In every can measuring 3.5 ounces, up to 19 maggots and 74 mites are allowed. That slice of red velvet you love so much contains carmine, a vibrant red food colorant which is made from the crushed abdomens of female beetle-like African insects. For centuries, people have consumed bugs, everything from locusts to beetles, termites, caterpillars, and dragonflies. This even has a name: entomophagy. Almost 2,000 species of insects are consumed across Asia, Africa, Mexico, and South America. This includes 235 species of butterflies and moths, 344 beetles, 313 ants, bees, and wasps, 239 grasshoppers, crickets, and cockroaches, 39 termites, and 20 dragonflies, as well as cicadas. Somebody call the exterminator! Now, let's look at some of the benefits of consuming these bugs we're running away from. Insects are a more sustainable source of protein for the growing population across the planet, as opposed to the more widely accepted protein sources. In addition to the protein, insects are also a great source of energy-rich fat, fibre, vitamins, and minerals. The risk of disease or a virus like swine flu is decreased, since insects are genetically very different from humans. The environmental impact of farming insects for food is far lower than livestock farming, since they produce fewer greenhouse gases and require 95% less water. 80% of a cricket's body is edible, as opposed to just 40% of a cow's and 50% of a chicken's body. So the fact is that bugs might be the best way to feed our growing population, which is growing at an alarming rate. The demand for meat-based protein is also rising. If everyone starts eating as much meat as Americans do, that would require more land area than even exists on the planet. Well, if you get over the yuck factor, you could be making a smart choice by adding some of these insects to your diet. What do you think?